You likely recall the strategy of using the image tag and then including the source set attribute and then including a list of images and then uh, calling out a pixel density, potential pixel density of the screen. And if the screen matched that pixel density, then we would load that image. And then there was also the approach where we called out in the source set the image, and then we included the width of the image. So instead of targeting the density of the screen, we called out the width of the image. And we also used sizes attribute. And we wanted to make sure that in the strategy of calling out or pointing out the width, that we were letting the browser know what was coming its way, so that space could be rendered and accounted for. Now keep in mind, the strategy using the image and the source set is all about increased performance, and it's best to use the same image at different sizes for that strategy. Now, we're going to look at another strategy, and this next strategy is more about design control. So it has increased performance, but it's also about design control. And this is where we are more concerned, I'm not sure if I say, because there's an interest, I should say, for the art direction. And you may want to load different images. Those images might be just cropped differently. They may be entirely different images. So it's more about the art direction. And that's using the picture tag and then the source tag inside and the image tag inside, and then using attributes like source set again and media. So we can basically run a quick little query, and based on the return of that query, load the appropriate image. And you can learn more about using the picture tag at a resource like W3 Schools. So you might want to check this out and get some more information, some more options on using this particular strategy. All right, being said, I'm going to go ahead and let's take a look at the actual code. You'll notice that the media queries are set up pretty much exactly the same as the other strategies which we have been exploring. A difference, let me point out real quickly, we still have our baseline mobile, and we have two media queries, the first for the tablet, the second for the desktop. Note that the minimum width for the tablet is 799 and the minimum width for the desktop is 1080. And the way this is going to work is I'm using a header element, and within the header element we will, and I call it element now because there's content inside of the header tag. Then we have the picture element now because there is content inside the picture tag. And I'm going to start down here at the bottom. And we have our image element, and we're going to load the Steam Banner 480 1x JPEG, and then we have our alt for our image. And then we are including two source tags. And these two tags, they have content inside, so we'll refer to them as elements now also. We're going to use the attribute source set inside of each, and then we're going to set our source to one of the other two images I might potentially want to load on the page. And then we're going to do a quick media test. So this image here, this would be for the mobile because there's no media test, so this is the default. Okay, our 480 by 800. If the minimum width is 799, if it meets 799, then we are going to load this banner image, which is the 800 pixel wide tablet banner image. If the minimum width is 1080, then we are going to load the 1080 Steam banner. So what we're doing is using the picture tag, we're using the image and two different source tags, and we're loading an image for the base mobile. Each of the sources are including a media. We're going to test the minimum width, and depending on the width, we'll load an image of our choice. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening here performance-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and just refresh the page. And what we're going to notice in our waterfall here is I'm targeting the image information here. And I happen to have this window opened up. So it's less than the $7.99. So we're going to get our base mobile experience. So we are loading our 480 by 800 image. Now, what I want you to do is watch the waterfall as I expand the window. And once we get up to $7.99, we should go to our tablet image. And you'll know that we have now added another image. So initially we had our 480 1x JPEG. Now we can look at this two different ways. Someone now has accessed the site with a tablet device, and we would then only have downloaded the 800 pixel wide. If they accessed with the mobile, they would only access the 480. But if they're on a desktop and they move the window around, the browser window, then they're going to keep downloading images. They're going to keep making more requests on the server. So as an example, let's get our window a little wider here, and you'll see we now have our desktop image and we have our 1080 JPEG file. So if I were to narrow, I'm just going to keep doing this back and forth, and you see we just keep querying an image. We keep making a request and calling this image. So what's going to happen is on the desktop side, let's go ahead and go to all, and you'll see we now have 37 requests. And as I continue to move this, you can watch those requests. So I move this back and forth, we're up to 44 requests on the server. So not a big deal if you're working with a mobile device. That mobile device simply loads the content, and it loads content specific to the width, which we've called out. But if you have a device that there's the potential that you're rotating the device from portrait to landscape, then every time you do that, you'll likely be reloading. That's assuming the aspect ratio changes from the portrait to the landscape and makes a call for changing the image. So each time you're going to make a call and you're going to load an image again if that is the case. And then of course on the desktop, if you contract and expand the window and you keep doing that, you're just going to keep making calls or requests on the server. So that's something to keep in mind.